technology screens. Our second company is BlackSeriesEdition.com. I'm here to clear up a lot of the nonsense. So bottom line is I have experience in gray screen paint products. I have experience in gunmetal technology. I also have experience in black technology. As you can see, we've designed a lot of black technology. And with my experience that I've had in gray screen paint products, I have quite a lot of information. Actually, more than the usuals that make this stuff. Because again, I was doing it for much longer than they have. Now, as I told you before, that the products that usually are made with gray screen paint products, sorry, turn my heat down, I'm cooking in here, that are made with gray screen paint products are usually the same thing. It's usually black and white paint. That's what it's made. That's how it was made back then. That's how it's made now. That's why reason why when I see demonstrations on it and I see how the screen is reacting, I can tell that the product has black and white paint in it because again, we used to make this stuff and a lot of it. All right, so what we have here is several shades of gray screens. These are made with different mixtures, different combinations that I've made. I've had experience in this field of doing so. If you don't believe me, I'll post some links below for my old company under Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. I first started off making gray screen paint products. I'll put a couple links there below. You can take a blast back to the past and show you that my experience in basically making great products. And usually these great products are all made the same, either more or less black paint. That's pretty much the base of it all. Bare 1050 white paint doesn't really make a difference unless you're doing a reversal. Then it's a little different. If you're doing a reversal, then basically you start off with the darker mix you see in the middle. You would have, or darker product you would have in the middle. That would start off with basically the product being black first and several teaspoons of white paint to turn that to that complexion. Or the other ones are different shades. So we have a more lighter version here. We have a kind of a mid color here. And that one's actually a little bit lighter than this one here. And that is the more darker one. So the problem you have with the darker one is the fact that it has too much black paint in it. And because it has too much black paint in it, it's going to have a hard time seeing white levels. This is the problem when you come into these mixtures because, again, they use a black paint as a toner. And the toner as in less or more, depending what your contrast levels are going to be. You want heavier contrast levels, you put in more black paint. But when you do that, it's going to drop your white levels. If you put in less and you put in more white paint and less black paint, it means you're going to pick up higher white levels, but your contrast level is going to drop. And in between, the color is going to have some weird reactions. So we covered up our screen so that way we can take our screen out of the equation because, again, our screen makes it very difficult for these screens to actually function. So with that being said, this is why we're doing the demonstration this way. This is a reality check. I didn't get a chance to put that in there, but I'm going to start calling these reality check. So, does a gray screen paint help? No, it doesn't. Does it have the ability to pull high white levels? No, it doesn't. It's still going to have the same issue of pulling white levels as any other screen. It's going to have the same problem. Our screens don't have that problem, but ones that are untested and they don't have the test results to back up the product, then yes, it's going to be a problem for them. Let me get something to blow my nose because my allergies are kicking. And yesterday I went out for just a hot second and caught it. Now we're going to be doing some of these tutorial videos, posting to our websites to help customers out on what they should buy and what they shouldn't buy. Because there's a lot of stuff not being explained to you in these demonstrations. Demonstrations that we watch on a daily, same thing, same dark environment, high-end projectors, and try to make you believe something that's not true. They're not telling you the truth at the end of the day, they're lying to you. This is the reason why no test demonstrations are being posted to sites. It's another thing we're calling out. Where are your test demonstrations? We want to see them. And whether it be the beginner, whether it be the certified screen paint maker, where are your test demonstrations? We're requesting them. Because on our sites, we can show you our test. I can show you the different kind of product in black paint, white surfaces, certified screens, different color projectors, different environments, inside, outside, where your test. So we see the same thing. We went through sites yesterday, and whether it be someone just making it out of their apartment or someone making it out of a company, it's all the same thing, all done the same way. So what's the reality of the gray screen paint? Well, like I said, when it was made, it was designed to basically produce better contrast and color than the white surface, as you're seeing the great big huge white screen in the background. You definitely want to lose white levels. That was definitely going to happen. The minute you put any black paint into it, you automatically were going to lose white levels. I don't care if you put just a little bit in there, you're still going to lose white levels. That's definitely going to happen. This is something they don't explain to you from the door. The darker version is the one that has more black paint into it. The problem with that is trying to get a gray screen paint to be able to produce a darker contrast level, which is needed. You're going to sacrifice your white levels like crazy. They're definitely going to be the first to go. If you make the product too light, we have 3 different shades of gray paints here. If you make it too light, then that means your contrast levels will suffer. You'll be able to maintain your white levels to a certain degree, but your white levels are still going to be not as high as a white screen, as you can see the white screen behind you. Let's go pull up color demonstrations versus the white screen. How much of an improvement that you're going to get over the white screen versus the gray products. Oh, and most importantly, people, the reason why this demonstration is being done, we need for other people who make these products to do the exact same demonstration I'm doing now. How close does your product come to matching one of these surfaces we have up here? Now we have Network Gray 773. That on the far end is hobby paint. This right here is a black and white mixture we made. That was 5. That was a reversal. That was actually our own product we made there. And this right here, I think, is Bullseye Primer. So sorry about the tissue. That's Bullseye Primer. That is Network Gray 773. And that right there is a hobby paint we got right there. So what we don't see in also demonstrations, we don't see gray versus gray demonstrations. I've never seen one. Actually, I have seen one. I've seen quite a few of them, but those videos don't exist anymore. They're gone. The person who had the videos removed them off his account because they were matching. So we did see a bare silver screen. We did see a network gray. But other than that, we don't see enough of these demonstrations. So how close does your product come to matching one of these screens? Let's go over to red screen YouTube.
Video from YouTube.
Now, which one is going to give you a better image next to the white screen? Let's go over here. So as you can see, it doesn't look good. The paint that basically has the darker one, because it's a heavy mixture of black paint, a heavy mixture of a lot of black paint and very little white paint, is pulling up a very dirty image. The image on the other screens, the color is really washed out. As you can see, it's supposed to be a bright, vivid red. Let me just show you. Now, for anyone to sit there and say, at the end, because we wait for those comments, that says, well, my product is different. Well, no, you really can't say that, because until the tests are done, that's the only way you can say my product is different. You have to be able to do the demonstration to back that up. And since I haven't seen very little testing done on gray products versus gray products, again, some of you have matched these products, and some of you have not shown that you may have the capability of matching these products. So now we're showing the color red on a 5,000 lumen projector, 1920 by 1200, full 1080p Christie projector, and you will see that none of these screens have the ability to see color next to the white screen. That's your comparison, from the door. Now, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to pull my screen up just a little bit, and I'm going to show you my technology just a little bit up. So this is our screen on the other end. See that nice, beautiful red right there? All right, here we go. So I'm gonna get a little, I need a clamp. I need a little clamp in here for that. since we haven't, if I can find one, I'm in the process of packing some things up. Trying to figure out where you might have put a plank at. Or you just grab some tape, tape it up a little bit on the edge so you can see it, because I want you to see the color you're actually supposed to be seeing. There we go. Got some heavy tape here. Let me get a pair of scissors. I'll take these scissors. I can't find my scissors anywhere. All right, so I'm going to take part of my screen here. I'm going to pull it up a little bit. Just enough here. Maybe too far up. I wish I could tuck this a little bit more under. I'm not going to be able to do it that way. I want to see if I can bring it up a little bit, because I want you to see what red is supposed to look like, but bring it up a little bit. Well, here, it's the best thing I can do. So, you see that right there? See that color? That's the color you're supposed to be seeing. This red right here is what you're supposed to be picking up. Problem is that the other screens can't recognize it and they can't see it. That's the problem. Let's go over and let's go over to blue. This is why painting your screen with a great product, again, not going to do much of an improvement. And number two, as I said before, these are products that, again, are not properly tested, because I haven't seen any tests so far like this. It's just the screens just don't pick up at all. You're not going to get much of an improvement on a white screen. You're just not. You're just going to pick up a much more dirtier, more washed out image. Let's see. Well, actually, your colors are going to get dirtier. Blue screen, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
So let's pick up the color blue. No, commercial. Can we get a blue in here? There we go. So there's blue right there. It's a shame. What I'm used to seeing is certain colors. So you're not picking up your colors correctly at all, period, on here. Slow color change out, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
So this is how much of a difference you're going to get on a gray screen paint product, whether it be darker, whether it be lighter, whether it be mid, versus a white screen. This is how much of a difference you're going to get. Most importantly is, most importantly in the demonstration, how much of this product actually matches some of the products out there today. So it's so many topics on this. It's not even funny. We need to build a page for this. We're going to have to. There's just too much information. It's not being given out. You need to see the difference of different shades of gray against a white screen, how much of an improvement you're getting for color, how much improvement you're getting for contrast, if it's working on ultra short throws, if it's being picked up, see what I mean? All the stuff I'm mentioning, that's what you should be seeing, and that's what they should be doing. But they're not doing those demonstrations, and they're not doing those tests at all, period. I even saw a demonstration where somebody turned out the lights in the middle of the demonstration. I'm like, what in the world? Why would you even do that? Doesn't make any sense. So there's so many things that should be done. There should be a comparison against different great products. Haven't seen that one yet. There's a comparison against the white screen, because at the end of the day, that's what they're trying to sell. They're trying to sell you a product that's going to be better than the white screen. So you have to be to show that you show an improvement over the white screen, including those white levels. And this also includes the lighter mixes, mid-gray mixes, and also includes darker mixes at the same time. You have to be to show all this. What is the difference between your product and a certified screen? You have to show all this. There's so much, that's what I said, there's so many tests missing. Red screen, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, in the basic color red, some people feel that, okay, if I put in more black paint into the white paint, I'm going to produce a darker red. That's not red. That's not the color of red. If you literally think that's red, you are extremely colorblind because that's not red. That's a dirty red. It's not red. This right here is not red. Now, what I mean by extremely color red, because people take it offensive. Oh, you're talking. No, we're not talking about you. We're talking about people who develop these products that come on here, and this is a conversation toward them that they think and they get on camera that they're actually seeing the color red, and they're not seeing red. They're not even picking it up. This is the color red. As I showed you before, that's red. That's the color you want to see. Now that's the color red. Let's pick up YouTube, yellow screen. Pick up a yellow
Getting
screen.
that from YouTube.
So bigger questions here is the fact that it needs to be brought to attention here is that how many of these great products are going to match some of the products that are being sold right now? Another question is, what is the difference between this product and a white screen? How much of a boost are you going to get off this product versus a white surface?
Blue.
So right now, the best yellow is coming off the white screen. It's not coming off the gray screen. It's not coming off the darker gray product mix. It's not coming off the mid-gray screen. The best color is coming off the white surface. Let's go over to, let me see. Sky blue, screensaver, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, mind you, this on the far end is hobby paint. That is 39-cent hobby paint. That is Network Gray 773. That is a mixture using a lot of black paint to make it darker, so darker mix. And then on this far end right here, we have the Bullseye Primer. "4K demonstration to YouTube."
Getting that from YouTube.
How much of a difference? Now you see that dirty tint color to it? That is because there's black paint in there. There's a substance in there that doesn't allow the screen to accept and read white light. And this is when we do these tests, we know that there's black paint in it. We know that right there from the door that there's black paint in here, and a lot of it. "4K snow screensavers, YouTube."
Getting that from YouTube.
Now remember I told you about the back and forth. You'll have one, the lighter products will pick up better white levels, but the white levels are still going to have a tint of darkness to them, where the darker products with too much black paint are going to have a problem picking up white levels. Compared to a white screen, neither one of them are doing too well. bigger question is how much of that paint is going to be to go in and match other products at the end of the day also too.
I've sat with women.
That's why I said the darker mixes have a hard time seeing white levels. You can't see white levels because there's too much black paint. So some people will add more black paint to it so they can pick up a darker contrast level, but the problem is you're going to sacrifice your white levels. When it comes to the gray products, they'll pick up a higher white level, but the problem is they can't see contrast. It's a back and forth thing. There's no balance at all, period. Neither one can transition. Now we'll do the goldfish with the black background. Now you'll see that the darker mix can see a contrast level, but it picks up a shade of gray. It doesn't pick up black. But it picks up a darker contrast level. The problem it's going to have is it can't see white. And it can't accept color because it balances off. Where the other screens are basically picking up too high of a white level and they can't see contrast at all, period. Doesn't pick up, it doesn't register. That's the area where you guys are stuck at. And then you have to turn the lights out, you have to buy high-end projectors, and you have to calibrate because your colors don't come up correctly. Now, let's go back over to simple red screen again. Red screen, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, when you see in the demonstration, none of the screens are picking up a proper color. The darker mix is coming up too dark and it's not picking up a proper color, where the other mixes are basically, or gray paint, screen paint products or house paints are not picking up any color at all. Period. Let's put in a basic demonstration. TCL 4K demonstrations, YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
This is why these darker mixes, one of the demonstrations they should have done, fully lit environment on a white screen showing white levels only. And again, still not done correctly. what I'm looking forward to seeing in these demonstrations, we're going to call it reality checks, is I'm looking forward to seeing demonstrations on these great products doing the exact same demonstrations we're doing here. How many of these products we have up here are the same as the everyday great products that you see right now? It's not calling out one person, it's calling everybody out. This is what this is. It's a reality check for everybody. After coming out of the forum site and having those conversations and talks in there, a lot of those gray screen paints, me staring at them, look exactly like the products that I see in everyday stores. I mean, almost the same thing. So that's what the call out is. The call out and reality check is to see how many of these products are matching these products. Like I said already, we've already seen one individual match quite a few house paints with no problem whatsoever. The other thing is how much of a difference, how much of a difference are you getting from the product versus a white surface? Is it worth your time painting? Oh, that's a good demonstration. We have to do that for the next one. I would definitely, that's definitely going to be a good one. Definitely, I'm definitely going to put that in the next one. But anyway, as I said before, this is the way to educate customers. Because at the end of the day, customers, when you're out there buying, these are things they're not telling you. These are videos they're not showing you. How much have their products will match your regular house paint, a shelf paint, something you can take off a shelf at Home Depot, at Lowe's, or Benjamin Moore, or any one of those places like that. Also, too, what are the white levels compared to a white screen? How does it pull up an ultra short throw projectors? What's the difference between that screen and other screens like it? Like I said, they should be doing these comparison screens on ultra short throws, long throws, inside, outside. There needs to be comparison screens up there. And this is why when I watch these demonstrations, it's the same thing. Projector, dark environment, no comparison screens up there whatsoever. Some of the comparison screens I have seen in some demonstrations were matching too well, too close, where basically there was no difference. If you have to get that close to the screen to show the difference between the colors or the contrast, that is an automatic fail. No one should ever be that close to a projection screen at a finger distance in order to show you difference between color and contrast. You have to be that close. You just basically fail the entire demonstration. And this demonstration, as you can see, the great products we have up here are different shades. All of them are reacting differently. All of them are having a difficult pulling out white light, which is going to be counted anyway, because if you're going to need black paint into it, that's one of the problems you're going to have right from the door. And also, too, like I said, they're not picking up color correctly. Colors just coming up too dark. If you look at it right here with the TCL, you'll see that the colors are a little bit bright, not brighter. They're just darker. They're not brighter. That's the problem. They're not picking up red because they can't accept white light due to the fact there's too much black in this product right here. So these are the problems you're going to run into when you're dealing with some of these mixes out here that are not properly tested, and they should be tested. At the end of the day, these are the tests you should be seeing. If you're not seeing these tests, then there's problems at the end of the day. And this is the reason why, as I said before, that, you know, if you're going to be going down that road, you might just go to Home Depot, Lowe's, Benjamin Moore, pull it off a shelf, and you'll do the exact same thing. All right, with that being said, got one more to do on the reality check. And we're definitely going to do some more of these as we go along, showing you tests that you should be seeing with a lot of these products that we're not seeing and they're not doing. All right, got to go, and God bless.